The pregnancy test fell from her luggage at 2:47 a.m., positive, dated 3 weeks into her solo wellness retreat. I'm standing in our bedroom, Emma's suitcase open on the bed like a wound, and my hands won't stop shaking. The little plastic stick catches the hallway light, 2 pink lines sharp as accusations. She's asleep beside me, her breathing steady, peaceful, the same rhythm I've listened to for 8 years of marriage. But the date printed on the test packaging, that damnable date, April 15th, burns into my retina. We haven't been intimate since March 1st. I know because I marked it in my phone, not out of spite or scorekeeping, but because the fertility doctor said to track everything. Document your attempts, Dr. Morrison had said, professional and kind after my vasectomy reversal. It helps us understand patterns. So I did. March 1st, a Saturday, after Lily's dance recital. We had opened a bottle of wine, talked about trying for another baby, made love with hope instead of passion, then nothing. Emma's work trips, my project deadlines, Lily's spring flu, life got in the way like it does. April was supposed to be our reconnection month. That's why she took the wellness retreat, she said, to reset, refocus, come back to us renewed. The test wrapper crinkles in my hand. April 15th. She was supposedly alone at that mountain retreat in Colorado, doing yoga and meditation, finding herself, finding someone, apparently. I slide the test back into the inner pocket where I found it, hidden beneath the silk lining, tucked away with precision. My fingers brush something else. Papers. Folded receipt paper, soft with handling. I pull them out slowly, each unfold loud as thunder in the dark room. Restaurant charges. The Moonrise Bistro, April 14th. Table for 2, $127.83. The Vineyard Room, April 15th. 2 dinners, wine pairing, $250 each 50. Every receipt, every meal, charges for 2. She was supposedly alone on that retreat. Emma stirs, rolls toward my side of the bed, her hand reaching for where I should be. I freeze. She mumbles something, then settles back into sleep. In the moonlight, she looks exactly like the woman I married. Same dark hair spilling across the pillow. Same slight smile, even in sleep. But now, I'm looking at a stranger who carries another man's child. Dawn comes slowly. I haven't slept. The evidence is back in the suitcase. Everything exactly where I found it. I'm making coffee when Emma comes down, wearing my old Columbia University sweatshirt, her hair in a messy bun. "You're up early," she says, kissing my cheek. Her lips are warm, normal. "Lily's still sleeping?" "Yeah." My voice sounds foreign. "How was your sleep?" "Amazing. That retreat really helped. I feel like myself again." She pulls out her phone, starts scrolling. "Oh, Sarah texted. She wants to do lunch today. You mind if I go?" Sarah, her best friend since college, maid of honor at our wedding, Lily's godmother. "Sure," I say. "Actually, can you show me those retreat photos again? Lily was asking about them." Emma's thumb pauses for half a second. Anyone else would miss it. "They're all on Instagram, honey. Same ones you saw." She's already moving past me, reaching for a mug. "Did you make enough coffee for 2?" After she showers, after the morning sounds of our life resume their pattern, I check Instagram. The photos are there. Emma in yoga poses, Emma by a waterfall, Emma with a sunrise, solo shots, everyone, except now I'm looking closer. In the waterfall photo, there's a shadow on the rock beside her. A man's shadow, broad shoulders, arm extended like he's just out of frame. In the sunrise shot, 2 coffee cups on the meditation deck. "Daddy!" Lily bounds into the kitchen, 5 years old and pure energy. "Is Mommy back from her trip?" "She got back yesterday, sweetheart." "Want some cereal?" Emma returns, dressed for lunch already, even though it's only 9 a.m. She's wearing the new dress, the one she bought right before the retreat. "Hey, baby girl!" She scoops Lily up, spins her around. Lily giggles, then points to the kitchen table where Emma left her photo album from the trip. The physical one she had printed at CVS last night, insisting the digital photos didn't do it justice. Can we look at Mommy's special trip pictures? Emma sets her down quickly. Maybe later, sweetie. Mommy needs to organize them first. But Lily's already opening the album, her little fingers careful with the pages. Oh, there's Mommy doing the tree pose, and there's Mommy by the water. She turns another page, then stops. Her finger traces across a photo. Why is Uncle Mark in Mommy's special trip pictures? The coffee mug slips from Emma's hand. It doesn't break. Our kitchen mat saves it, but coffee spreads across the floor like spilled secrets. Emma's face drains of color, then flushes red. That's not Uncle Mark, honey. Just someone who looks like him. Lily tilts her head, that way she does when adults aren't making sense. But he has the same watch, the one Aunt Sarah gave him for Christmas. See? Her finger points to a man's wrist, partially visible at the edge of a photo where Emma poses by a hiking trail. The watch is distinctive, a vintage Rolex Submariner with a custom green band. Sarah had it specially made. Clean up time, Emma's voice pitches high. Lily, go wash your hands for breakfast, now. After Lily leaves, Emma turns to me. Her mouth opens, closes, opens again. It's not, don't. I'm surprised how calm I sound. Just don't. Not with Lily here. She nods, grabs paper towels, starts mopping coffee. Her hands shake. The album stays open on the table, Uncle Mark's watch catching the morning light. I take Lily to the park. We need distance, air, space to think. She chatters about school, about her friend Maya's new puppy, about whether we can have pancakes tomorrow. Normal 5-year-old concerns while my world tilts off its axis. The calendar app on my phone mocks me with its precision. I pull it up while Lily plays on the swings. Emma's last period marker, March 5th. I remember because she was upset it came. We'd been hoping that month. Conception window, according to the fertility tracking, April 10th to 20th. The retreat, April 10th to 17th. Mark and Sarah live 2 hours from the retreat center. The credit card statement loads slowly on my phone. I switched to paperless billing last year. Emma handles most of our finances, but I still have access. There it is. The retreat center charge, $2,400 for the week. But there's more. Gas charges along the route. A charge at a pharmacy in Vail on April 13th. A liquor store on April 14th, and 2 bottles of wine from the transaction details. The expensive Malbec she loves, the one we save for special occasions. If you've ever felt your world shift in a single moment, that sensation of falling while standing still, you understand this feeling. Lily calls out from the monkey bars. Daddy, watch me! She makes it halfway across before dropping, landing on her feet, triumphant. Did you see? I saw, sweetheart. You're getting so strong. Strong like you. She runs over, wraps her arms around my legs. Daddy, why did Mommy cry this morning? When did Mommy cry? When she was cleaning the coffee, her face was all wet. I kneel down to her level. Sometimes grown-ups have big feelings, sweetheart. It's okay. Is Mommy sad? I don't know, Lily. Maybe we should get ice cream and bring some home for her. Would that help? She nods solemnly. Strawberry, that's her favorite. We're walking to the ice cream shop when my phone buzzes. Sarah. Hey, heard Emma's not feeling well. Rain check on lunch? Tell her I'll call later. I stare at the text. Emma must have canceled, which means she's home, processing, deciding what story to tell. I type back, sure, actually, could we talk? Coffee tomorrow? 3 dots appear, disappear, appear again. Then, is everything okay? Just need some advice about something. Of course! 10 a.m. at the Grindhouse. See you there. Lily picks strawberry for Emma, chocolate for herself, and looks at me expectantly. Vanilla, I say, though I can't imagine eating it. The teenager behind the counter smiles at us. "Your daughter looks just like you," she says. I look at Lily, my brown eyes, my stubborn chin, Emma's delicate nose. Wonder if the new baby will have Mark's features. The thought makes bile rise in my throat. Back home, Emma's in the bedroom. The suitcase is gone, bed made with military precision. She's sitting at her vanity, still in the dress, staring at nothing. "Lily brought you ice cream," I say from the doorway. She turns. Her makeup is ruined, black streams down her cheeks. "I was going to tell you." "When?" My voice stays level. Lily's downstairs with her chocolate ice cream and a Disney movie. "When were you going to tell me about the baby?" Her face crumbles. "How did you—" "The test was in your suitcase." "You went through my things?" "It fell out. April 15th. Emma, the date was April 15th. She stands, hands gripping the vanity edge. "It's not what you—" "Our last time was March 1st. I have it documented, for the fertility clinic. Each word precise, careful. Your conception window was during the retreat, and Mark was there. The silence stretches between us like a year. Lily saw his watch in the photos. Emma sinks back onto the vanity stool. Oh, God. Is it his? She doesn't answer, which is answer enough. How long? I ask. How long have you been? It's not an affair. The words tumble out. It's not what you think. Sarah knows. Emma stops, hand over her mouth. Sarah knows. I can't do this right now. Please. You can't. You're pregnant with another man's child and you can't do this. My control finally cracks, voice rising before I catch it. Remember Lily downstairs. Quieter. We have a daughter. We have a life. I know what we have. She's standing again, fierce now. You think I don't know? You think this was easy? I think you made choices, multiple choices. Every dinner for two, every night in that hotel, every time you... Stop. She moves past me toward the door. I need to think. Where are you going? Sarah's. Of course you are. She turns at the doorway. It's not what you think, she says again. None of it is what you think. Then she's gone, leaving me with strawberry ice cream melting on the dresser and questions multiplying like cancer cells. Her phone, forgotten on the vanity, lights up with a text. From Mark. Did you tell him? Sarah's losing it. This wasn't the plan. The credit card statement showed charges for 2 at every restaurant. The Grindhouse coffee is packed for a Monday morning. Sarah's already there, third booth from the back. Our usual spot from when the 4 of us would do double dates. She's holding her cup with both hands, not drinking, just holding. Her wedding ring catches the light as her hands tremble. You look terrible, she says when I sit down. Thanks. You too. She does. Sarah's usually put together, lawyer precision in everything. But today her blazer is wrinkled, her eyes puffy behind designer frames. Emma called me 15 times yesterday. I didn't answer. But you knew about the retreat, about Mark. Her cup rattles against the saucer when she sets it down. I tried to stop them. When? When did you try, Sarah? Before they left? During? Or after you found out she's pregnant? A woman at the next table glances over. Sarah leans forward, lowers her voice. You don't understand. This whole thing, it started before... She stops, pressing fingers to her temples. God, I can't do this. You're going to do this. You owe me that much. I owe you? Her laugh is bitter. Tom, I don't owe anyone anything anymore. My marriage is over. Did you know that? Mark moved out 3 weeks ago, before Emma even got back. 3 weeks ago, but the retreat was 6 weeks ago. She signals the waitress for more coffee, though she hasn't touched the first cup. The affair started in February, Valentine's Day. How's that for cliché? I was at a deposition in Chicago. Mark and Emma had dinner to plan my surprise birthday party. She laughs again, that broken sound. Surprise. February. 3 months of deception. Every Sunday dinner, every movie night, every time our families gathered. All of it built on lies. But the baby, I say. The timing doesn't... The affair started in February, but they didn't... God, this is so messed up. Sarah pulls out her phone, scrolls to something, slides it across the table. Text messages between her and Emma dated March 28th. Emma, I can't do this anymore. It's killing me. Sarah, you promised. We agreed. Emma, I know what we agreed, but I love him. Sarah, you love my husband? Emma, I'm so sorry. Sarah, the retreat. Take the retreat. Figure it out. But this ends. You knew she was going to see him there? No. Sarah's voice rises, then drops again. No. I thought she was going alone. I thought distance would help. But Mark saw the Instagram post about where she was staying, and she retrieves her phone, clutches it like armor. He drove up there, told me he was going fishing with his brother. And when you found out? 3 weeks ago, he came home and confessed everything, said he was leaving me for her, that she was pregnant and it was a sign. Her voice cracks. A sign. 15 years of marriage and he needs a sign. Emma said, you know, present tense, like you're involved. Sarah goes very still. What else did she say? That it's not what I think, that none of it is what I think. I lean back, study her face. What aren't you telling me, Sarah? She's saved from answering by her phone ringing. Mark's face fills the screen. A photo from happier times. Him laughing at some long-forgotten joke. She declines the call. He's been calling all morning, she says. Wants to explain his side. Maybe you should let him. Maybe you should talk to him yourself. She's gathering her things, pulling on her coat. He's at the Marriott downtown, room 412. He's expecting you. Sarah? I tried to stop them, but they said it was meant to be. She's standing now, looking down at me with something like pity. Ask him about the plan, Tom. Ask him whose idea it really was. Then she's gone, leaving me with 2 untouched coffees and a hotel room number. The affair started before the retreat. The Marriott lobby smells like industrial carpet cleaner and broken promises. The elevator to the 4th floor takes forever. Or maybe time just stretches when you're heading toward a conversation you don't want to have. Room 412 is at the end of the hall. The door opens before I can knock. Mark looks like hell. He's lost weight, his usual gym-perfect physique hollowed out, his face gaunt. We've known each other 12 years since he and Sarah moved to town. Our kids played together. We watched Super Bowls together. I was his best man when he and Sarah renewed their vows 5 years ago. Dom, he steps aside to let me in. The room is sparse. Unmade bed, laptop on the desk, empty whiskey bottles by the trash. Thanks for coming. Sarah said you have something to tell me. Sarah says a lot of things. He sits on the bed, puts his head in his hands. God, this is so fucked up. That's one way to put it. You want to hit me? You can hit me. I deserve it. I want to understand. Start with February. He looks up. Emma told you? Sarah did. Valentine's Day. You were planning her birthday? We were just talking, at first. You know how it is. Sarah's been distant since... He stops. No, that's not fair. I can't blame her. We had wine. Emma was laughing at something, and she has this way of tilting her head when she laughs, and I kissed her. My hands clench. In my house? In your car. I was walking her out. We both had too much to drink to drive, so she was going to call an Uber, and I said I'd wait with her, and... He shrugs, helpless. It happened. It happened. Like weather, like gravity. No choice involved. I'm not saying that. I'm taking responsibility. Are you? Because from where I'm sitting, you destroyed 2 marriages and you're hiding in a hotel room. I love her. He says it simply, like it explains everything. I'm in love with Emma. Have been for years, if I'm honest. Years. Since that trip to the lake, summer before last. Remember? All our kids playing together. Emma in that blue swimsuit, teaching Lily to swim. She was so patient, so gentle. Sarah and I had been fighting about... He stops again. About what? Mark stands, walks to the window. Downtown sprawls below, Monday morning traffic crawling. Sarah can't have children. The words hang there. Sarah and Mark never had kids. We'd assumed it was a choice. Careers, travel, freedom. Never asked because you don't ask. We'd been trying for 10 years, he continues. IVF, fertility treatments, the whole thing. Nothing worked. The doctors said her eggs were... The term doesn't matter. It wasn't going to happen. And she became obsessed with it. Every conversation, every plan, everything revolved around having a baby. So you had an affair with my pregnant wife? She wasn't pregnant when it started. He turns from the window. That happened at the retreat. We didn't plan it. We were going to end things. That's why she went away, to get clarity. But I couldn't let her go. I drove up there and conceived a child. Yes. He meets my eyes. I'm not proud of how it happened, but I won't apologize for the baby. Sarah couldn't give me that. Give you, like it's owed. That's not what I meant. What about Emma? What's her excuse? Mark's face changes, something shifting in his expression. You should ask her. I'm asking you. No, Tom, you really should ask her about why she was so willing to carry my child. Sarah knew. She'd known all along. Something cold crawls up my spine. What are you saying? I'm saying this is more complicated than an affair. I'm saying Sarah knew more than she let on. I'm saying... His phone rings. Emma's face on the screen. He answers. Hey. Yeah, he's here. I didn't tell him yet. Because it's not my place. Emma, we agreed. Fine. He holds the phone out to me. She wants to talk to you. I take the phone. Emma, come home. Her voice is steady now, resolved. Bring Mark. We need to do this together. All of us. All of us? Sarah's here. We're all going to tell you the truth. The truth about what? About the baby, about the plan, about why I agreed to it. The line goes dead. Mark's already grabbing his jacket. Sarah had been orchestrating this. The drive home is silent except for Mark's breathing, ragged like he's run miles. I catch him staring at Emma's photo on my dashboard screen, our family Christmas card from last year. All three of us in matching sweaters, Lily's grin gap-toothed and perfect. She's a good kid, he says. Lily, you've done a great job with her. Don't. I just meant, I know what you meant, don't. Our house looks different somehow, like seeing it through strangers' eyes. Emma's car is there, Sarah's BMW beside it. The women who've shaped my life for a decade, waiting inside with truth that will reshape it again. They're in the living room. Sarah on the couch where she's sat 100 times for wine and movies. Emma in my chair, my weekend reading chair, holding a manila folder. Between them on the coffee table, more folders, documents spread like tarot cards predicting doom. Sit, Emma says, not asking. I remain standing. Mark hovers by the door like he might bolt. 7 months ago, Emma begins, Sarah asked me to be her surrogate. The room tilts. I grab the back of the couch for balance. Sarah speaks, voice lawyer steady. I couldn't carry a baby. We'd tried everything, spent our savings on treatments. The only option left was surrogacy, but the agencies, the wait lists were years long, and the cost, she looks at Emma. She offered, my best friend offered to carry our baby. I never offered that. Emma's voice is sharp. You asked, you begged actually, at my birthday dinner. My birthday dinner, 7 months ago. I remember it, the four of us at that Italian place downtown. Too much wine, Sarah crying in the bathroom. Emma going to check on her, both of them gone so long. The waiter asked if everything was okay. You said you'd think about it, Sarah continues. And then in October, you agreed, remember? We had the contracts drawn up. Emma pulls papers from the folder, slides them across the table. Legal documents, dense text, signatures at the bottom. Emma's signature, Sarah's, Mark's, and mine. But I've never seen these papers before. That's not my signature. Sarah goes pale. What? I pick up the document, study the scrawl that's supposed to be my name. It's close. Someone who's seen me sign credit card receipts might not notice. But it's not mine. The T is wrong. The curve of the M too flowery. You forged my signature? No. Emma stands, the folder spilling. No, I would never. Then who? They all look at each other, silent. The grandfather clock in the hall, Emma's inheritance from her grandmother, ticks like a countdown. The clinic, Mark finally says. The fertility clinic required both spouses to consent. But Tom, you were traveling for that conference in Seattle. The deadline to start the hormone treatments was that week, or we'd have to wait another 2 months. Sarah said she'd handle it. Sarah, I turned to her. You forged my signature on surrogacy papers? I thought Emma had told you. She said you were on board but busy with work. I was just helping expedite. Stop. Emma's voice cuts through. Stop lying. All of you, stop lying. She turns to me, eyes fierce. There was no surrogacy. Not really. It was all a cover story. The baby wasn't just Mark's. It was planned. What? Sarah couldn't have children, but she also couldn't stand Mark not having them. She knew about his feelings for me, has known for years. So she came up with a solution. I would have Mark's baby, but officially it would be through IVF, surrogacy, all legal and clean. But you didn't do IVF. No. Emma's voice drops. We did it the traditional way, at the retreat. With Sarah's blessing, with Sarah's insistence. Mark moves into the room finally, stands beside the fireplace where our wedding photo sits. She said it would be better this way, more natural, less medical intervention. She even picked the dates, Emma's optimal fertility window. I sink onto the couch, as far from Sarah as possible. You pimped out my wife? That's not... Sarah starts. You sent her to fuck your husband so you could have a baby? Tom, please. And you, I turn to Emma. You agreed to this? Emma's face crumbles. She's my best friend. She was dying inside, Tom. Every negative test, every failed treatment. She talked about killing herself. I thought I was doing something beautiful. Sarah has been paying Emma's credit cards. How much? I ask Sarah. How much did you pay her? It wasn't like that. The credit cards. Mark mentioned credit cards. I pull out my phone, pull up our banking app. There they are. Payments to Emma's personal card, the one she uses for shopping. $5,000 here, $3,000 there, going back 6 months. You paid her. Those were for medical expenses, Sarah says. Prenatal vitamins, maternity clothes, the retreat where she fucked your husband. Tom! Emma's crying now. Please, I thought you knew. The signature, I thought you'd signed it. Sarah said you had, that you were being supportive, but didn't want to talk about it because it was awkward. I thought I was helping everyone. Everyone except our daughter. What about Lily? What happens when this baby is born? What's she supposed to think? Silence again. None of them had thought about Lily. A key turns in the front door. We all freeze. Lily's voice carries from the entryway. Mrs. Patterson brought me home. She said Mommy asked her to pick me up early. Our neighbor appears in the doorway holding Lily's hand, takes in the scene, the 4 of us, Emma's tears, documents scattered, and her face carefully blanks. Everything okay? Fine, I manage. Thank you, Margaret. She leaves, but not before giving Emma a long look. Lily bounds into the room, then stops. Children's emotional radar is devastating in its accuracy. Why is everyone sad? We're just talking, sweetheart, I say. Grown-up stuff. She looks at each of us, then walks to Emma. Mommy, are you crying? Happy tears, baby. Lily isn't buying it. She turns to me. Daddy, is Aunt Sarah and Uncle Mark getting a divorce? Maya's parents got a divorce, and everyone was sad like this. The truth from the mouths of babes. Why don't you go play in your room, I suggest. I'll come up in a minute and we can read a story. Can I draw instead? Ms. Jennifer taught us about feelings drawings. Sure, sweetheart. She heads upstairs, but pauses at the landing. Uncle Mark, why don't you live with Aunt Sarah anymore? None of us answer. Her footsteps continue up to her room. We need lawyers, I finally say. All of us. This is beyond us now. Tom, Emma starts, you're pregnant with another man's child. A child that was conceived through deception, with forged documents, possibly paid for. I don't even know what that is legally. Reproductive coercion, Sarah says quietly. It's a form of intimate partner violence. We all stare at her. I'm a lawyer, she says. I know what this is, what I did, what we all did. Then you know this ends now. Mark, get out of my house. Sarah, you too. What about Emma? Mark asks. That's between me and my wife. But Emma broke down. I thought I was doing something beautiful. They leave, Mark first, then Sarah trailing behind. She stops at the door. I never meant for it to go this way. How did you mean for it to go, Sarah? You thought I'd be happy? That we'd all raise this baby together like some commune? I thought Emma would do the IVF properly, clinical, detached. I didn't know they would fall in love. They were already in love. You just gave them permission. She has nothing to say to that. After they are gone, Emma and I stand in our living room, surrounded by the debris of our life. The contracts, the photos, the lies spread across our coffee table like evidence at a crime scene. What do we do now? She asks. I need to see my daughter's drawing, I say, and head upstairs. Lily's at her little art table, crayons spread in a rainbow. She's drawn 5 figures, clearly us, with Emma's dark hair and my glasses, her own small figure between us. But there are 2 other figures, separate but connected by a line she's drawn. Who are these? I ask, though I know. That's the new baby, she says, pointing to the smaller figure. And that's the daddy who goes away. She points to the other. What do you mean, sweetheart? She looks up at me with those serious eyes, my eyes. Maya said when mommies have babies with different daddies, the first daddy goes away. But you won't go away, right? I pull her into my lap. Never, baby. I'm your daddy forever. Promise? Promise. She adds another line to her drawing, connecting me to both her and the baby figure. There, she says. Now everyone's connected right. The counselor showed me Lily's drawing. This is my real daddy who stays. I photographed the drawing with my phone, knowing somehow it will matter later. Lily colors quietly while I sit with her. The weight of what comes next, settling like stones in my chest. Custody battles, DNA tests, lawyers. But also this, a 5-year-old girl who needs to know she's loved, no matter what storms we're heading into. Emma appears in the doorway. Can I come in? Lily looks at me, then nods. Mommy, look, I drew our family. Emma's face when she sees the drawing, the 2 fathers, the baby, the careful lines connecting us all, breaks my heart all over again. Because Lily, in her innocence, has drawn what Sarah imagined, what Emma thought she was creating, what Mark believed he deserved, a family that can't exist the way any of them planned. The baby would need a home. Sarah couldn't take her. The law offices of Chen and Associates smell like leather and resignation. Patricia Chen sits across from me, her desk organized with the kind of precision that bills at $400 an hour. She's reading through the documents, the forged surrogacy agreement, the bank transfers, the timeline I've constructed. Her expression doesn't change, but her fingers tap once, twice against the mahogany. In this state, she says finally, You're the presumptive father of any child born during the marriage, unless you contest it. I want to contest it. That requires DNA testing. Court-ordered, given the circumstances. She sets down the papers, studies me over her reading glasses. Have you considered what happens if you're not the father? I know I'm not the father. I mean legally, emotionally. Your daughter Lily, this will affect her. The baby, when it's born, will be your daughter's half-sibling regardless of the DNA results. Have you thought about that? I had. Every night since the discovery, I'd thought about it. Lily drawing her family pictures, adding a baby that wasn't mine, but would be her sister. What are my options? Several. You can divorce and seek full custody of Lily, arguing parental alienation and deception. You can sue Sarah for fraud. The forged signature is criminal. You can refuse any responsibility for the baby once paternity is disproven. She pauses. Or you can negotiate a different arrangement. What kind of arrangement? I've seen cases where the betrayed spouse accepts the child. Rare, but it happens, especially when there are other siblings involved. She pulls out a fresh legal pad. But first, we need that DNA test. I'll file the motion today. How long? Emergency hearing, given the pregnancy timeline? 2 weeks, maybe less. The lawyer paused. In this state, you're the legal father, unless you contest it. 2 weeks pass in a blur of legal filings and separate bedrooms. Emma moves to the guest room. We maintain normalcy for Lily. Family dinners where we discuss school and weather. Bedtime stories where we sit on opposite sides of her bed. Weekend trips to the park where we stand like satellites orbiting our daughter. The DNA test happens on a Tuesday. A clinical room, a technician who's seen too many of these cases, the swab rough against my cheek. Emma's test is more complex. Amniocentesis for the baby, risk of complications, Mark insisting on being present until my lawyer shuts that down. My client has rights until proven otherwise, Patricia says, and Mark retreats. That night, Emma knocks on what used to be our bedroom door. She's showing now, 5 months along, the bump visible under her old Northwestern sweatshirt. Can we talk? I let her in. She sits on her side of the bed, muscle memory placing her exactly where she's sat 1,000 times before. I got a call from the clinic today, she says. The fertility clinic. They have records. What kind of records? From February. Sarah scheduled an appointment for me, for egg retrieval. She pulls out her phone, shows me an email. I don't remember this. I never went to this appointment. You're saying what? Sarah drugged you? Stole your eggs? I'm saying I found charges on my credit card for anesthesia services, on a day I supposedly had a spa treatment with Sarah. Her hands shake. Tom, what if the baby isn't from the retreat? What if it's from the clinic? Emma screamed, Fine, test it, but you won't leave when you know the truth. The results arrive by courier on a Friday afternoon. I sign for them while Lily colors at the kitchen table, the envelope heavy as a verdict. Emma's at her 20-week ultrasound, alone by court order. I can't open the results without legal representation present. Patricia meets me at her office an hour later. She opens the envelope with the practiced efficiency of someone who's delivered bad news before. Reads once, then again, her expression shifting to something I've never seen on her face. Surprise. Probability of paternity, 0%. She reads. But there's a second page. She slides it across to me. Additional testing ordered by the court, given the circumstances. Comparative DNA analysis against submitted samples from Mark Harrison. Probability of paternity for Mark Harrison, 0%. That's impossible, I say. She's pregnant. Someone is the father. Not necessarily. Patricia pulls up something on her computer. If this was IVF, if an embryo was implanted, the biological parents could be anyone. The question is, who? My phone rings. Emma, you need to come to the hospital, she says. Now, bring the lawyer. What's wrong? They found something on the ultrasound, about the baby, about... Tom, just come. Tom handed me the papers. Sarah can't have children. She asked Emma to carry Mark's baby for her. The hospital's fertility wing feels like a different world from the maternity ward 3 floors up. Dr. Rahman meets us in her office. Emma already there, her face pale but determined. I've reviewed the records from our clinic, Dr. Rahman says. There was a procedure in February, an embryo transfer. I didn't consent to that, Emma says. You did. We have the consent forms, the video recording of the consultation, everything. Show me. Dr. Rahman pulls up a video on her computer. There's Emma sitting in this same office, signing papers, discussing hormone treatments. But something's off. The way she moves, her voice slightly slurred. I was drugged, Emma says. That's not... it's me, but I wasn't fully conscious. The toxicology screen wouldn't show anything now, Patricia says. It's been too long. But we have the embryo records, Dr. Rahman continues. She pulls up another file. The embryo wasn't created from Emma's eggs. Whose then? Sarah Harrison's. We had her eggs in storage from her IVF attempts 3 years ago. The embryo was created using her eggs and her husband's sperm, then implanted in Emma. The room goes silent. Sarah and Mark's biological child, growing in Emma's womb. But the affair, I say, the retreat. They admitted to... The affair was real, Emma says quietly. We did sleep together at the retreat, but I was already pregnant. I just didn't know it. The director confirmed. The embryo was Sarah and Mark's, but your signature, it's not authentic. This is reproductive coercion, Patricia says. Criminal fraud. Sarah Harrison could face serious charges. She's my best friend, Emma whispers. Was. God, she did this to me. Use my body without my knowledge. We need to call the police, Patricia says. Wait. I stand, pace to the window. Outside, normal life continues. People parking, walking, living lives that make sense. If Sarah orchestrated this, if she drugged Emma and forged my signature, then Emma's a victim too. You're defending her? Patricia asks. After the affair? The affair was separate. Wrong, yes, but separate. I turned to Emma. You thought you were pregnant from the retreat. You didn't know about the embryo. I suspected something when the dates didn't line up exactly, but I thought maybe the tests were wrong, or... She trails off. I wanted it to be Mark's naturally. I'd fallen in love with him. And now I'm carrying my best friend's baby that she put inside me without my knowledge, after an affair with her husband that she apparently orchestrated. Emma's hand goes to her bump. This baby is innocent in all of this, but I don't know if I can do this. You're 5 months along, Dr. Rahman says gently. The options are limited. I know. Emma looks at me. Tom, what do we do? Before I can answer, my phone rings. Sarah. Don't hang up, she says immediately. I'm at the police station with Mark. We're turning ourselves in. Sarah. I know you got the DNA results. I know you're at the clinic. Dr. Rahman called me. It's over. Her voice breaks. I just wanted a baby. I just wanted to be a mother. So, you stole Emma's body? I asked her first. She said no, said it was too complicated, that you'd never agree. But I knew if it was already done, if she was already pregnant, she'd go through with it. She always does the right thing. The right thing? You think this was right? I think I was desperate. And desperate people do terrible things. A pause. Tell Emma I'm sorry. Tell her the baby is hers if she wants it. I can't be a mother from prison. The judge asked Lily, who do you want to live with? She grabbed my hand. 3 months later, we're in family court. Emma's 7 months pregnant now, moving slowly but steadily. She and I aren't together. That bridge burned beyond repair. But we're something. Co-parents to Lily. Figuring out what we'll be to this baby. Sarah got 18 months for fraud and reproductive coercion, out in 9 with good behavior. Mark got probation and counseling. Their divorce was finalized last month. The baby, legally, is mine unless I contest it. The presumptive father rule, a law meant to protect families, now a strange shield over this unconventional situation. Judge Harrison reviews the custody arrangement for Lily. "This is unusual," he says. "You're seeking joint custody while divorced and accepting paternal rights to a child that's biologically neither of yours." "That's correct, Your Honor," Patricia says. "My client believes it's in the best interest of both children." "Miss Chen," the judge addresses Emma's lawyer, "does your client consent to this arrangement?" Emma stands slowly. "Your Honor, I made terrible mistakes. I betrayed my husband's trust. But Lily needs both her parents and this baby." She pauses. "This baby needs a family. Tom has been that family when he had every right to walk away." "Mr. Peterson," the judge turns to me, "you understand you're under no legal obligation here? The DNA test clearly shows you're not the biological father." "I understand. Then why?" I think about how to answer, about Lily's drawings, her careful lines connecting everyone, about Emma crying in the guest room, about the baby who didn't ask for any of this. "Because families aren't just about biology, Your Honor. They're about who shows up, who stays." The judge nods, makes notes. Then he does something unexpected. "Lily, would you come here for a moment?" Our daughter, almost 6 now, walks forward with her school backpack covered in unicorn stickers. She's been drawing during the proceedings, quiet and observant. "Lily, do you understand what we're talking about today?" "Yes," she says, clear and confident. "You're deciding about houses and families." "That's right. And what do you think about that?" She looks at Emma, at me, then back at the judge. "I think families are like my drawings. You need lines to connect everyone, but the lines don't have to be straight. They can be squiggly or different colors, but as long as they connect, it's still a family." "And who do you want to live with?" "Both of them. Mommy made mistakes, but she loves me. And Daddy..." She grabs my hand. "Daddy stays. He always stays." Emma signed away primary custody. I know what I did. She deserves better. The judge grants our proposed arrangement, joint custody of Lily, with her spending weekdays with me and weekends with Emma. The baby, when she's born, we learned it's a girl, will follow a similar arrangement once Emma recovers from delivery. Outside the courthouse, Emma stops me. "You don't have to do this. The baby. You could walk away and no one would blame you." "Lily would. Lily's a child. Who understands family better than any of us?" I look at her bump. "Have you thought about names?" "I was thinking Hope," she says. "It seems appropriate." "Hope Peterson?" "If you'll allow it. If you're really going to." I'm going to be her father. Maybe not biologically, but legally, emotionally, practically. She'll be Lily's sister. That makes her mine. Emma cries then, not the desperate tears of the last months, but something cleaner. "I'm sorry for all of it." "I know. Can you ever forgive me?" "I'm working on it. For the girls." Lily introduced me at school. "This is my dad. He stayed." 2 months later, Hope is born during a thunderstorm. Emma calls me from the hospital at 2 a.m., voice tight with pain and fear. "She's coming! Now!" I wake Lily, bundle her into the car. "Baby sister's coming." Finally! She's brought her daddy book, the one she's been adding to for months. Pictures of all of us, including Hope before she was born, floating in what Lily calls the waiting place. The delivery is complicated. The stress of everything, the guilt, the fear, it all manifests in Emma's body. Hemorrhaging. Emergency interventions. For 3 hours, I sit in the waiting room with Lily asleep across my lap, wondering if I'll be raising 2 daughters alone. But Emma's strong. She's always been strong. When they finally let us in, she's holding Hope, tiny, perfect, with Sarah's distinctive chin and Mark's dark eyes, the baby who caused so much chaos, innocence of all of it. Do you want to hold her? Emma asks me. I take Hope carefully. She's smaller than Lily was, more fragile seeming, but her grip when she wraps her hand around my finger is strong. Hi, Hope, I whisper. I'm your dad. Lily peers at her sister. She's very small. You were this small once. Really? She touches Hope's hand gently. Hi, baby. I'm your big sister. I'll teach you everything. We don't leave. We stay. The next months blur together. Emma keeps her apartment, but we function as a unit for the girls. Dinners together, bedtime routines shared, weekends at the park as a family-shaped something. Not married, not together, but connected by these two children and the choice to make it work. Sarah writes for minimum security. Apologetic letters I don't read, but keep for Hope, for when she's old enough to understand. Mark disappears to California, sends checks but no contact. Their biological daughter doesn't know they exist. Father's Day arrives with unusual warmth for June. Lily's school is doing a special celebration, kids presenting cards and songs to their fathers. I'm there with the other dads, some biological, some steps, some adopted. All of us just trying to do our best. When it's Lily's turn, she walks to the front with her handmade card and the confidence of a child who knows she's loved. This is my dad, she says to her class. He's not my only dad. There are different kinds, but he's the dad who stays. When mommy made mistakes, he stayed. When baby Hope came and things were confusing, he stayed. When I have bad dreams or good dreams or questions about frogs, he's there. She opens her card, reads in her clear 6-year-old voice. Daddy, thank you for choosing us every day. Thank you for teaching me that families aren't perfect, but love is. Thank you for showing me that staying is the bravest thing. Love, your daughter Lily. P.S. Hope says Gaga, which means she loves you too. The other parents applaud. Some of them know our story. Small town gossip travels. But in this moment, it doesn't matter. What matters is a little girl who understands that love is a choice and a man who chose to stay. After the ceremony, Emma meets us outside with Hope in the stroller. We walk to the park, the four of us. Not quite a traditional family, but a family nonetheless. That was beautiful, Emma says. What Lily said. She's a smart kid, like her father. We watch Lily push Hope on the baby swing, gentle and protective. I've been thinking, Emma says, about what you said in court, about showing up. Yeah? I want to show up better, be better. I know I can't undo what I did, but I want to earn my place in this, whatever this is. This is a family, I say. Complicated, messy, imperfect, but family. Even after everything, especially after everything, the easy families don't have to choose to be families. They just are. We're choosing this. Every day. Hope laughs, a new sound she's just discovered, and Lily laughs with her. Two sisters who will grow up knowing that families can break and reshape, that love can be complicated, that forgiveness is possible even when trust is gone. We don't leave, Emma says quietly, remembering something I'd said during one of our mediation sessions. That's what you told the lawyer. We don't leave. We don't. Even when we should, especially then. As the sun sets over the park, I think about the pregnancy test that started all this. How a piece of plastic could unravel a life and, strangely, rebuild it into something else. Something harder, but maybe more honest. Something chosen rather than assumed. No blood relation, no legal obligation, just love. Lily runs over, grass stains on her school dress, joy radiating from her face. Daddy, Hope smiled at me, a real smile. That's wonderful, sweetheart. Can we get ice cream to celebrate? I look at Emma, who nods. Sure, what flavor for Hope? She can't eat ice cream, silly. She doesn't have teeth. Right, well, we'll get some for later, when she has teeth. That's like 100 years away. More like 6 months, Emma laughs. We walk toward the ice cream shop, Lily skipping ahead, Emma pushing the stroller, me walking between them. People we pass might see a normal family on a normal Sunday. They wouldn't know about the affairs, the betrayals, the forged signatures, the courtrooms. They'd just see parents and children connected by invisible lines that Lily would draw in squiggly, imperfect, beautiful colors. If you've found your chosen family, if you've learned that biology doesn't define love, if you've stayed when everything said to leave, you understand this moment, this choice, this grace. The ice cream shop is crowded with other families. The teenager behind the counter, the same one from that terrible day months ago, recognizes us. Vanilla for dad, chocolate for big sister, strawberry for mom, she asks. You remembered, Emma says, surprised. You guys are hard to forget. Plus, you're here like every week now. She peers at Hope in the stroller. When's this one going to start ordering? Soon enough, I say. We find a table outside. Lily carefully eats her chocolate, making sure not to drip on her Father's Day dress. Emma helps her with napkins. Hope sleeps in her stroller, unaware that she's surrounded by the family that chose her, fought for her, stayed for her. Tell me again about when I was a baby, Lily asks, our favorite game. You were perfect, I say. And small, Emma adds. And loud, I continue. So loud the neighbors complained. No, they didn't, Lily laughs. They did. Mrs. Patterson said you were louder than her yappy dog. What else? You had no hair, completely bald, like a cute alien. Daddy, it's true. We called you our little extraterrestrial. What's that mean? Alien, Emma explains. But a nice alien, a love alien. Was Hope a love alien too? Emma and I exchange glances. How do you explain that Hope's beginning was complicated, painful, built on deception, but resulting in love? Hope, I say carefully, was a surprise alien. The best kind, Emma adds. Like when you think you're getting socks for Christmas, but it's actually a puppy, Lily asks. Exactly like that. Can we get a puppy? No, we say in unison, then laugh. Some things about co-parenting never change. As the sun sets and the ice cream melts and Hope wakes hungry, I think about the journey from that 2:47 a.m. discovery to this moment. The test that revealed betrayal, the DNA results that showed no biological connection, the custody hearings that redefined family. The choice to stay when leaving would have been justified, expected, easier. But we don't leave. We stay. Even when the test comes back negative. Even when the papers need signing. Even when the baby isn't yours, but becomes yours through the simple revolutionary act of choosing to love. Daddy? Lily asks as we're packing up. Yes, sweetheart. I'm glad you stayed. Me too. Will you always stay? I look at my daughter, mine by birth, by choice, by law, by love. I look at Hope, mine by none of those things except choice and love, which turns out to be enough. I look at Emma, no longer my wife, but forever my co-parent, my complicated family, my reminder that forgiveness is possible even when trust is broken. Always, I promise. And for the first time since finding that test, I believe it completely. This is my family, not the one I planned, not the one that makes sense on paper, not the one that fits in boxes on forms, but mine by choice, by persistence, by the radical decision to stay when everything said go. In the end, family isn't about blood or biology or even betrayal. It's about who stays when the test comes back negative, when the papers need signing, when a little girl needs to know she's loved. We don't leave. We stay. And that's enough.